Hey, what is up, y'all? Welcome to the shiny, happy Cult stream. I am here with two of my favorite ex-Cult members, Lindsey Williams and Chad Harris. Y'all, how are you doing tonight? We're already having a good time. I mean, we're already having a great time.
Hell yeah.
And we've got
Lindsay
stuff to
says
talk about.
Lindsay said something hilarious right before we went on stream, so I'm still dying over here.
Listen, I had to hold it together so I could at least get through the intro before we just completely fell apart.
You guys are bullies. You're bullies.
Listen, this is a live stream Q&A. If y'all have questions, please send them in the comments. I've actually got some questions that we're going to be going through from comments on some of the previous episodes, so that'll be super fun. Listen, super chats are very much welcomed and encouraged, but not required. But if you would like your question automatically answered, send it with a super chat. We'll show it on the screen here, and we'll address it. How are y'all tonight?
Chad, you first.
I am fantastic, actually. I'm sporting a scientific shirt with a scientific background because my room's a mess and I don't even care, and my life is hopeless and beyond repair. I just triggered both of y'all. Anyway, I'm doing great, and yeah, looking forward to the rest of the evening if it's going to be anything like that.
Sounds like you need to get back under your umbrella of authority, Chad, and life would be so much better for you.
Yeah. All I caught was that there was a cat on your shirt, so we're still friends.
Oh, it's Schrodinger's cat, wanted dead and alive.
Oh,
the Schrodinger's box, yes.
Oh.
Schrodinger's experiment. Wonderful.
If it's an IBLP cat in a box, it's dead.
Fair enough. That's probably accurate.
And it's probably dinner. You got a lot of kids. You got to make do, you know?
I don't know. That could be
pussies into
xenophobic,
pies.
Chad. Careful with that one. Careful with the dinner cats. Lindsay, how are you?
Well, I'm still waiting
Sweetie
for the
Todd.
Umbrella Goat Award, but here I am.
The Umbrella Goat Award. Actually,
yeah.
at this point, we're giving out the Silver Foot Award.
Oh, God.
That is the new coveted award.
Wait, not Golden Foot?
Not a gold. We couldn't afford one. It's gonna have to be a silver foot, and it's really just silver
Beautiful.
coated. It's actually just tin. That's what it is.
It's just dipped in tin. It's wooden.
Oiled again.
I cannot. I'm doing well. Life's been a little busy. I've been working and also working on my house. So, you know, I do construction and then I do beauty makeup. So it's been a really wild ride the last couple of weeks.
Those are two very different industries: beauty makeup and construction.
Give me
Some
the
would
cement
say
pours.
mutually
Bring
exclusive.
it on.
Okay, I love it. That's really, really cool.
She's actually
my
working
house.
for the mob now.
No, that's
That's where all
that
the
would
bodies are.
knowing Lindsay's life, that honestly wouldn't surprise me. That her next step is working for La Cosa Nostra. Wouldn't surprise me. That's probably why she showed up in that Maserati, Chad. When she met you in
I
Chicago.
didn't. Yeah, I tried to play it.
Well, that's why
humble,
she was
but
driving it.
Full
Huge
disclosure.
mob boss vibes.
It really is.
Is Lindsay a wild driver? Is this breaking news?
Let me just put it this way. She used every bit of that Maserati, but it was Chicago, so it's okay. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting over there, and I believe my exact words were,
No,
Okay.
it is not. I am actually a really good driver, you little a-hole.
you were good. You were really good.
I'm gonna
I just
trust
know
Chad
how
on
to
this one. I'm gonna
use-
trust Chad's judgment.
I know how to use horsepower. That's all I have to say.
That's true.
You're welcome.
She's got a lot of pent up anger that she's got to do something with, and we might as well mash it into the accelerator, right? Welcome
purred
also,
like a
of
kitten.
course, to the live chat. Thank y'all so much for joining us. For those of y'all that are asking, Brice is not here as of yet, but he should be joining us later on. He's currently enjoying a gourmet meal. I don't know where he is, but he sent me photos of his dinner, which looked delicious. I had Jimmy John's. We are not sponsored by Jimmy John's, by the way, but would love a sponsorship deal from Freaky Fast. That's what I had. And so I'm a little bit jealous. I don't know, Lindsay, if you have any thoughts on tapas, but that's what Brice is eating currently.
I mean, I tapas all the time, but that's by my pool. So,
Okay.
but I also will, like eat tapas.
Okay.
And it's pretty delicious. Yeah.
Oh, that
Yes.
was really cute. I was gonna make
Yeah, you're
I was gonna
welcome.
make a joke about a human sushi board or something like that, but I just want to move on to chat and see.
You wouldn't want that. Not in California. It's too hot and sweaty and gross. Yeah, it's a no.
Definitely wouldn't want that on Chad either. No.
Well, actually, in Alabama, that would be like a family dinner, right?
Family reunion.
Love it.
That's where I met my first girlfriend. I tell you that right now.
The family reunion. Amazing.
I can't.
Hey, I also wanted to welcome our newest member, Laura Estrada, I believe it is.
All right.
Thank you so much for
Sweet.
becoming a member of the Friends with Davey channel. Love it so much. And actually, there was a question from Laura Estrada that, Lindsey, I thought potentially you could address.
Okay.
She had sent, I don't know when she sent this question, but I missed it somehow. The question was, do you think Bill Gothard is still a virgin?
Wow, that requires some speculation,
It does.
of which I'm not sure I want to go down those roads.
Well, we know in the public statement he made that he still claims to have never kissed, quote, a girl.
He's that specific, is he?
Very,
I think
yes.
there is a part of I don't know if it's still the cult mind. I know Chad probably thinks differently than I do, but there's a part of my cult mind that still kind of thinks that he hasn't. What is the question, that he's actually a virgin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he still is. Yes.
Really?
But yeah, I don't think he would know what to do if he found himself in a room with a female. I'm going to present that's willing, okay? But
Absolutely. Right.
I don't even think, he would not know what to do. This man has never had an education of how the organs work. So
Never
I
got to
think,
talk, I think is what you're saying.
exactly. I think it's very much a no, but I think he definitely understands how self-pleasure works. 1000%. I agree.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you kind of find that out
thousand
on
percent.
accident if you don't actually get instruction on it.
Right.
As another male, I think you can probably attest to this, that self-pleasure just sort of happens at some point when you least suspect it. I personally thought I thought when it happened the first time that I was accidentally urinating in my own pants.
And I thought when it happened the first time.
I'm sorry to laugh. I have not had your experience.
Of course.
And I thought when it happened the first time for me, the lady was really rude, saying, "Sir, this is a Wendy's." But
sir, this is a Wendy's drive-through.
Oh my god, I can't. So my other thing is, like, I also believe survivors. So if there's a survivor that says that they were, this something happened with them, I believe that. So it's not that I'm taking away from anything that a survivor would say, but there's also a lot of different forms of definitions for being great. So who's to say, but there's a bit of me that just says he wouldn't know what to do if it was even presented to him, like, on a sushi platter.
Well, that was great callback. Thank you, Lindsey.
You're welcome.
That was actually one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, just like your experience talking with some of the other survivors from the Shiny Happy People cult, Lindsey, because he claimed in that public statement, after a lot of the accusations came out, that he had never kissed a girl, which is the direct quote from his letter. Do you know whether that is true or not, based on what you have heard from other survivors?
I know that there are allegations of things. So I stand with them, but I also kind of feel like it's hard for me to wrap my mind around. And I think it's just because there's a part of it that it wasn't my experience, but also I really do believe them. And I can't, and in that like juxtaposition, I guess, or that conflict of the two, I still can't like put my brain at it. But I think the more like Chad, because Chad knows this about me, like the longer we've been going through Shiny Happy People and then all the interviews that we've done afterwards and just the information that's come out since to me of like other survivors and other people that I was at headquarters with, I've just been I feel like I'm constantly getting like bowled over with information. And I'm like, why can my brain not like quite like figure this? But I would put nothing past him. I just feel like, first of all, if he were to try anything like that, I think it would be the most disgusting thing that could ever come at a female, like literally approach a female, like, here, let me kiss you. Like, I can't even stand looking at his photo. So I can't imagine, surprise. But I can't imagine that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think that, like, how I just think I know that for myself personally, if he ever had attempted anything further than the prayer, body pressing thing,
right.
I probably would have just absolutely kneed him in the groin. I think or slapped him or something. Like, my physical response of someone like really trying to invade my autonomy, it would have been over.
Yeah,
Like, I
there would have
put in
been a
prison.
fight response in a situation like that,
Absolutely.
which
I would
yeah,
have clawed. Yeah.
mhm.
So
knowing you as limited on as a limited a basis as I know you, I absolutely feel like that would have been a a fight response for sure.
I guess I would have been, where's my Bible? Ka-funk.
She would have rented a Maserati specifically to mow him down. Okay, so there's
Just
that.
run it right through the carport, right
Yeah.
into his office.
A Maserati with a mower attachment on the front. That would have been cool. That's pretty cool. That's my
Stephen
nightmare,
King wrote an entire novel about that, I'm pretty sure.
actually.
Sweet. What, the raging Lindsay or the car?
I mean, we could definitely turn that into some sort of horror story. Brice, Chad, and I already decided that we're starting a cult, and Lindsay is going to be the leader. That's already been finalized. We're
I'm okay
in the
with
works, filing our 501c3 paperwork. So just be
Beautiful.
ready for that, Lindsay.
Gosh, can I just have like a whole cult of dudes? Like, it's just dudes,
It's a
and
harem,
all
actually.
of the like no, not with dudes. Is it with dudes?
Yeah, it's still
A
the same
harem?
thing.
I thought it was more like
Yeah,
with females.
equality. Come on.
It's
What
a
do I
hair
know?
him.
Very
Hair-hems?
nice. And see, that is why Chad is our resident Silverfoot recipient. The hair him. That is so good.
Hair
might actually
hems.
turn that
The
into a
hair hem
stand-up bit.
cult. Oh god, that is quick, Chad. I like
That's
those.
so good.
Yeah. Cool. I will lead you to the paths of righteousness. And beside
Yes,
the
to the
waters.
promised land.
That's
Thank
no
you.
fun.
Yeah. I don't know what the promised land's gonna look like for you guys, but it's gonna be totally awesome for me.
It's gonna be a lot of grapes, a lot of fanning.
Yeah. Yeah, but like actual grapes, not the decoded grape.
Oh no! Oh, good lord! No, yes, no. Actual.
I was like, what?
fruit.
Grape?
No,
You're like the fruit, the grape.
no. My mind was
Oh.
totally innocent and pure on that one. God,
You gotta
Took me way
rein
too
me
long.
in.
look, I haven't been traumatized quite as much as you have, Lindsay, and that shows.
Okay.
It really does show for me.
Yeah. Welcome to my trauma. You
Hey,
invited me here.
speaking
That's
of
the tagline for the
Gothard-
cult. Welcome to my trauma.
Welcome to my- that actually would be a great podcast. Chad Gothard, we had talked about this. We were going to address it in the last episode that we did with you, but we just had so much other stuff to talk about. But he's currently suing IBLP. There is an ongoing lawsuit right now, correct? Where he's trying to regain control of the Shiny Happy People cult, right? And I think you probably know more about that than I do.
Yeah, he posted on his Facebook page not too long ago, I think it was back in February, saying plans are already in place to reinstate Bill Gothard. I'm pretty sure his lackey, Alfred, posted something about, like, plans are in place to reinstate him in IBLP. It's just a matter of weeks now. Well, that was February, and he still ain't in. But according to recent court documents that I found through friends and such who have actually physically gone to the courthouse and gotten them, so thanks, y'all. Yeah, it turns out that he is suing to take back up. Well, he's first of all claiming that he only resigned for a little while just so that he could sort out the little business with everyone who accused him of what he actually did. Assault. Thank you.
Yeah.
Try not to get demonetized or whatever. But he's claiming that he only ever intended for it to be temporary, and which is totally not what his resignation letter says.
Not even remotely.
And also, he claims that, well, all that property that IBLP has been selling off and making money off of, because they sold off a buttload of property. They're trying to sell off the Michigan property. They're trying to sell off their Nashville property. They've already sold off the Oklahoma property. He's claiming that all that was given to the ministry to further his teachings. And therefore, the understanding was that it would benefit him and his teachings. And if IBLP didn't have him, they didn't have reason to sell the property. All this, of course, is, a complete flapdoodle and will probably fail in court. But he's been able to keep this lawsuit alive for about 3 years now. So, who knows?
Unreal, dude. So basically, he's claiming that he was wrongfully terminated. That's essentially the gist of it, right?
Yeah, he's claiming all of his stuff was stolen, and it's all rightfully his. And he claims that he also created something called the IBLP Association, which is different than the actual IBLP.
What?
And so IBLP was like negligent in their promise to help the IBLP Association, and even IBLP in their response is just like, "The hell are you talking about?"
Like, huh? That makes sense.
So bizarre.
Yeah. So
He is delusional. Bottom line, he's delusional.
Yes.
It's unreal. And it shows his ignorance on so many levels that he thought, oh, if I just have like a verbal commitment when I leave, I can come back. Like, you are completely devoid of connecting with how this doesn't. Hold on a second. Oh, that's my husband. I'm sorry.
Do you think they were coming after you?
I'm so sorry.
And they're here tonight, folks.
They found me.
And I'm going to prison. No, I can't even go into the story. We thought we had intruders about a month and a half ago with flashlights in our backyard, and I literally called the police, and they put out a helicopter actually to come to our house. Yeah, I was fucking petrified. And so just now, all I saw was this like little flashlight in the backyard, and I'm like, because my husband's gone, he's not at home right now. He went to Lowe's.
Well, he's
so
back.
I was like,
He's
oh
back
my God, I'm alone,
in
and there's a flashlight in the backyard. Okay,
Call the helicopter. Get the helicopter back over here.
I'm
Quick.
fine. Yeah, I'm like, sorry guys, I gotta go 911. Hello. Your old friend here, Cold Chronicles lady.
How crazy would that be if we live streamed
a break-in at my house in California?
An intruder at Lindsey's house.
There was a house that got broken into across the street from me this last Friday. So I have every right now to kind of be on edge.
Absolutely. It is spooky season after all. Well,
anyway, I have no idea what I was even saying, because that literally
totally threw you off.
All of the brain cells out of me.
Well, I think the point was how disconnected and tone deaf Gothard is.
Oh, yeah.
In this new series of lawsuits that he's bringing against IBLP. I mean, the resignation was so clear. That he was stepping down, and the fact that he's trying to claim that it was just temporary is so
he's so used to his own authority. He's used to never having anything buck against what he wants. So he's acting like a bratty child right now, but he's 88 years old. I was telling Chad, what does this guy think he's going to do if he, let's say, in a utopian Bill Gothard world, he gets it back? What happens next?
That's one of the things that I've wondered. Oh, so
nothing.
Great little segue here, Lindsey, because here's a picture of God. Sorry, I know. I told you I was going to warn you. But
you should have given me the wink. I'm on edge even more so right now, Davey. I thought a man was breaking into my house. I got to stare at this leather shoe. Oh,
all your best reactions, though, are in response to Bill Gothard. So on the left, of course, is Bill Gothard. I don't know, probably in the
around
late 90s,
the time that he was
2000s.
Having fun with me.
Is this about that time, you think?
Yeah, he might have been a little fresher, but a
little fresher.
There. Yeah.
And then on the right is what he looked like not even 6 months ago.
That part is falling off his head.
He chose
holy. It used to be up here. It used to be up here. And now it's like just above his. It's like almost where a Ray-Ban would sit if it was on his forehead.
Well, also, you can see very clearly that he is not dyeing his hair nearly as often as he used to.
But he does.
Well, with the price of crude oil being what it is these days, I mean, you just can't really keep that up,
Yeah, that's a really fair point. Thank you for pointing that out, Chad.
His golden bathroom, and yes, he had a golden bathroom right off of his office, was splattered with hair dye. All over the wallpaper, stains around the sink. Oh yeah, I remember going in there one time when he wasn't in the office because I was like, I go to the bathroom so bad, and that's the only bathroom I know of that's close. And I ran in there and I was like, yep, never again am I coming in here. But I went to just like, I'm one of those that like I'll take a paper towel and then I'll just like wipe everything off the counter because OCD, I guess. And I was like, what are all these dots that won't come up? And then it dawned on me, I'm like, shit, he colors his hair in here.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah,
I mean, we knew he was dyeing his hair, but Lord,
You're
he does it right
unchangeables, right?
there.
Mr.
Yeah.
Unchangeable
Mr. Changing the
is
Changeables.
definitely
Miss-
coloring his hair.
Mr. Respect the Hoary Head.
Because
Oh yeah, that was always a hilarious one to me. That
snap.
hoary old head.
Oh,
You're
In so many
sweaty
ways.
head.
By the way, Lindsay, when you were washing your hands, like, did you very briefly like see him lighting a cigar on the other side of the mirror, like the Continental from Saturday Night Live?
right?
That
No.
would be so gross, dude.
Oh, could you? I could see him as a Muppet.
Oh yeah,
It was a Muppet. I was going a
Yes.
completely different direction with
Okay,
that.
well,
I have long suspected that they had hidden cameras in some of the prayer room. I don't know about the bathrooms necessarily, but just in the prayer room, I feel like they did have hidden cameras.
At training centers wouldn't surprise
Mhm.
me at
Yeah.
all. Not in the slightest would it surprise me. The headquarters, I just got goosebumps on my head because I was like, oh, please tell me no. I don't think they had them at headquarters, but I
No?
could totally see them at the training centers. Yeah.
Yeah, the compound in Indianapolis, I mean, that's where all the bad kids went, right?
Yeah. Your little LITs and rebellious ones.
Yeah,
Davey.
all the
Davey.
all the prideful young men and women whose
By
countenance
the way-
had fallen and wasn't as bright anymore.
Yep. Star
Yeah,
was getting muddy.
I definitely think that there were hidden cameras installed for sure in the prayer rooms. It was just too coincidental some of the times that they would come busting into the prayer room while I was there for a week. I was just like, did you guys see me trying to kick out the AC unit? Is that why you're here right now? You know,
But
stuff
where
like
would
that.
they have hidden it?
I don't know. I honestly
don't you think you
know.
would have seen it? It's not like it was a teddy bear with an eyeball that
Yeah, that's true.
had a video in it.
I don't know. It just seemed too convenient some of the times that they
Mhm.
would, come and interrogate me in the prayer room while I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no,
right
I
after I was doing
totally
something
believe
potentially
you.
sketchy. Yeah.
Yeah. But were
Um,
you making a lot of noise? Do you think maybe they posted someone outside your door?
no, I mean there was a time where I was doing backflips off my bed just because I was so bored. Actually, no, I take that back.
So
I
the
had taken
poor,
mattress off my
exhausted
bed.
17-year-old female that's like right below your
Poor thing.
room
Yeah, I
is
feel
like,
bad.
I can't sleep, sweet Jesus. I have prayed and I have meditated, and there's
There
still
is a
moving
demon
from
above me.
upstairs. They're like that.
We are
baby.
getting somebody who's getting physically ill from the image, by the way. Just a little heads up there.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
blame
all
you,
right.
by the way.
It'd be nice if we could just. I'm
You want
trying
to
to look.
move on from this one?
I don't know if they can
Um,
tell, but I'm only looking at like the little channel of Chad and Davey on the left because I can't with this
You can't-
like
you just
leather
can't-
shoe face.
Okay. I
Ugh.
did want to point out
At
There's
least
a
he's
smaller
smaller.
one.
At least he's tiny.
his
He's as
his
big as my
social
thumb.
media is still active as we
Unbelievable.
know. He has posted multiple times on social media channels. I'm not going to name the channels, but here he is. However,
Oh, you should name the channels. Why not?
Well, this
I don't
particular
want people to
channel
get
has
involved.
it like literally right there. So
Oh, true. Sorry, I
Um,
get real vigilante. I'm like, why not?
Go blow him up.
Boom.
be sure to like and subscribe, Bill Gothard. No, okay.
Well, I'm not gonna say that live. Yeah, no.
Go
Anyway.
spam his account if you
That's
are so
not
inclined.
it. That's not it.
Um,
But like, I
but-
don't think we should run from it.
Here's the fun thing to me, and Chad, I'm gonna let you kind of tell the backstory here because I can't even pronounce the guy's name. But there is, and this has been verified by several people, including Chad, including Dr. John Cornish, including Brooke Arnold, that have said Bill Gothard is not running his own social media. It's actually a mole,
100%.
a literal actual mole, a mole man. That is who this is on the screen right now. This moleman. Chad, can you elaborate, please?
Not Mormon, Molman.
Moleman.
So before the YouTube cops or anything get to me, this is all based on stuff that he has publicly posted, and he has very much, not been shy about putting out there into the world. This is a man named Alfred, Corduan, Corduan, I believe is how you pronounce it, or Corduan, or I don't
Corduroy.
care. Yeah. Well, corduroy is actually like a very useful bear who needs looking after. This is something else. But yeah, this guy apparently has been a longtime follower of Bill Gothard. He has been defending him ever since the Recovering Grace days, where he would come in and harass people who have shared their stories by basically being "man, actually" in the comments. He was there way too long before they banned him, and quite frankly, it's a tribute to the moderators over there that they were able to contain him as long as they could. But they finally banned his ass, and suspiciously enough, there was a website that came up soon after that called Discovering Grace, which was supposed to be a huge takeoff on, which happened to have a whole bunch of articles with his very writing style. So it is the informed opinion of myself and pretty much half the Western Hemisphere that this man is currently the one who has been posting on behalf of Bill Gothard and or been managing his social media accounts. Correct. It is very likely to the point where I'm pretty sure it's a certainty. And yeah, he just has this weird obsession with an 88-year-old man who has a hair part that looks like a baseball seam. So I don't know.
Yes.
I also didn't know they made pants this wide. And it's not even
now,
like he's.
I can vouch they do.
Look how. No, Chad. I mean, this guy isn't even like morbidly obese or anything. Like, it's not like my 2,000-pound life or anything. But the pant legs are so incredibly wide.
But it's as wide as it is long, and that's what's so bizarre.
Is that what it is, Lindsay?
I think it's like wide-legged palazzo pants that are happening here. They're palazzos.
So bizarre to me.
And as long and as wide as his pants keep getting, her skirt gets shorter. And I still to this day, I am so befuddled at how, and maybe I'm jealous. Let's just put it out there. I might be freaking jealous because why in the world is her skirt so short above her knee? When I was in ATI, that would have been a full-on harlot.
Yes.
Like a harlot.
Completely disallowed.
Yes. Why is it not down to her ankle? And why is she wearing knee highs?
We do have a theory, Lindsay, from Leanne Dietrich that is actually Bill Gothard in drag.
I have never seen them in the same room together, to be fair. I'm just asking questions.
Listen, I'm not going to take that any further because there's so many things I would love to say about the concept of Bill Dragthard. I don't know.
Bill Drathard?
Queen Bill, Dragthard? If you will.
Dragthard. Draggard.
Queen Gothard.
Draggard.
It's a great theory. It's a very plausible theory.
Kind of Lego shaped face too. It kind of tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna stop. So. I don't. She can't help how she was. She can't help how she was.
Kentucky Derby hat as a head covering of grace.
Yeah, it's
but you know what?
The whole thing.
But Cordwan, I call him of Gothard because he quite literally is of Gothard. Like he will come to his defense. He clearly is the one that is writing on behalf of Bill too, because he doesn't talk like Bill. So and he clearly says like moderator response on behalf of Bill Gothard. Like it's very clear it's not Bill, and it's definitely this dude. Because I know how, like even Chad, like and you do too, Davey. Like we know how Bill presents. And it is not how like little Mr. Tweedledee over here presents. So I don't know if he's just like gunning for, maybe at some point he can take over. Like he's salivating that when, his master Gothard passes away, then if Gothard becomes, Cordwan. I don't know.
I don't know.
This is ridiculously speculative.
Inheriting literally nothing though.
It makes no sense.
Gothard was ousted from his own cult.
I just think
what is the point?
A bored old dude who's like, this is a fun hobby. Let's go troll people.
Well, interestingly enough, on his website, Lindsay, and Chad pointed this out to me, it mentions that he is an IT professional for a Fortune 100 company, which Chad discovered is actually Northrop Grumman, which is a very large, prestigious organization. But it would be a real shame if his superiors found out that he's spending a lot of his time during the workday trolling survivors of the Shiny Happy People cult. What a shame that would be.
But those
if someone were
those
to alert his executives.
Timed replies that he's like scheduling through the app.
It could be. It certainly could be. But
But
I
I
would
doubt it.
love for someone to take a look at his work computer and see if he's running his website and discovering grace from Northrop Grumman equipment. It'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be a fun little
Instead of a
journey?
cigarette break, he takes like a cult troll break. I'm gonna go take my
I'm
troll the
technically on my
cult.
lunch break right now.
I have a
think it's
5-minute
very
lunch break
pinched-
spread out all over all day.
He has
Leave
a
me
very
alone.
pinched and nasal sound. Excuse me. That I
Oh,
think
for sure.
too. Pinched nasal.
That guy's voice has to be ugh.
maybe a
gotta
decibel
be
higher
the
than
worst.
Michelle's.
Oh, you think he talks in the high breathy voice?
Oh yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised.
There's no
He-
low register there.
He wants to bottom for Gothard so bad. Like you can tell.
Did
just
I
from
not
all
say
his responses?
of Gothard?
Yes, absolutely.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Anyway,
like-
I thought that would be a fun one to bring up. Oh, go ahead, Chad. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. Apparently my throat decided to fail on me. One moment, please.
Got all choked up.
So
It
emotional.
was just so beautiful, you guys. Okay, I did have a point though to the shortness of the skirt and everything, which I think is actually pretty relevant. This is yet another example of in the cult, the rules only apply as useful as you are. So if you're useful to, Bill Gothard or IBLP or whatever, you get to take certain liberties here and there, like you don't have to do everything. You can, skirt a little here and there, so to speak,
Right.
because you're actively doing a thing. And anyone who says otherwise is just an attack from the devil who's, just trying to distract from your usefulness. So
Obviously, yeah.
that's how it was, and that's how it continues to be.
I
Yeah.
100% agree with that. I mean, we saw that with director families, right, Lindsay?
Yeah.
A director family, they got special privileges. Their kids
Always.
were typically, running amok by fundamental Christian, shiny, happy people standards. Obviously,
Yeah.
in reality, they were
We were
just
staying
normal
up till 9.
They
Oh,
went to
yeah.
the store and got ding dongs. How dare
hanging out
they?
with the opposite gender and everything. Those pesky kids. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's such a double standard
Always.
when it comes to that, for sure.
And I just think that people that came into leadership had major control desires. They wanted to lead with power and
Yes.
assert authority, the narcissism, just the I'm given this power and authority by God. Therefore, like I've always said, it's a mic drop. When you throw it in like God said this, mic drop, I get to abuse you because Bible says so, mic drop. Like there's no defense for the little ones. And I just think most people that found their way into leadership in any of the training centers and some of headquarters were very much like that. And they got away with it.
Yes.
And that, no one could ever say anything out against it because again, we're so programmed out of fear and also just like this understanding of like spiritual warfare that we're like, oh, I shouldn't butt against this. This is gonna come back to haunt me later. And
Right.
honestly, it would too because we're with abusers, so we know better than to continue to. Well, I don't know. Maybe you didn't know better, but if you continue to like really push them, it just gets worse.
Right.
Because they really do have all the control over you.
Mhm.
Oh, I hate
Yeah,
it.
and I mean, especially in a patriarchal society like that. I mean,
Uh-huh.
take it out of the cult for a second, and just the patriarchal ideology that these fundamental Christian groups were driven by. Yeah. There was always the opportunity and environment for abuse was cultivated.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely, it was.
That's just the
When
bottom
you
line.
were at Indy, was it the Gurgneys and the McGaws?
I don't remember their names. Honestly,
Okay.
I couldn't even begin to tell. I
Really
don't
tall, thin
think
string bean
so.
with gray hair, very severe part. That was McGaw.
Listen, I've
And then
blocked
kind of
out
the
so much of that.
squatty, husky dude, round face, white head.
It
Gurgney.
sounds familiar. The only people I really remember were Brandon, who led the Life Focus program.
The Brandons, like Mr. and Mrs. Brandon? Because I don't remember
No.
his
It
first
was a
name.
guy. It was just this guy named Brandon. I can't remember his last name right now for the life of me. I mentioned it in another in one of the episodes, and someone reached out to me and said, he came out of the closet recently, right? I was like, oh no, I did not know that.
Amazing.
But that explains the aggression and anger.
Right.
Yeah,
And that explains why they kept all the life purpose stuff in a actual closet. We were there. We saw it.
I mean, but wow, right? But can you imagine the conflict that they were going through to have to like assert as a male, like assert this aggressive, patriarchal, I control everybody. And then on the inside, probably being this like soft, wonderful, cuddly person that is just like at a complete odds with your own identity that
Yes.
you can't put out there at all. Like,
Well,
I
even more than that,
imagine.
Lindsay, I mean, this was we were so steeped in the quiverful movement.
Right.
Your whole purpose of as a man
Yeah.
was to be this big, strong provider, hunter and protector, get a wife
And maker of
and
babies.
and make as
Yep.
many babies as possible.
Yep.
Well, being, a gay man, you can't identify with that at all. Not to
No.
mention the fact that was still referred to as an abomination within the
Yeah.
cult, which is
I can't
just
imagine.
ludicrous. But yeah, growing up that way, having to hide your true identity, I can
Yeah.
only imagine what that was doing to him on a daily basis.
Yeah. Because and this is not to take away from LGBTQIA plus community at all, but I feel
Right.
like as females being raised in this too, and being a very wild buckaroo female, like I felt the same. I felt so similar. Like I
Mhm.
could not reveal anything of what I really was. Even in my victim impact statements to my parents, I said to them, "You've never truly even known me because I've never allowed you to."
Mhm.
And
Because you
it's
get in trouble for it. That would be prideful. That
yeah.
would be
Oh
rebellion.
my
Yeah,
gosh, you
that'd be a
did.
sin.
You missed out. You missed out on just the fun, saucy person that I am because I just couldn't reveal it to you. It wouldn't be safe.
Well, you know what? We're not missing out, Lindsay, and we love it.
Hell no, you're not.
We love fun, saucy.
This is
Lindsay.
definitely saucy me.
I don't think I've heard anyone use the word saucy in quite some time, so I'm really happy about that. Even
Leave a saucy in the chat if you agree.
Hashtag
drop a sauce.
saucy.
Yeah.
Drop a sauce.
She's lost in the sauce, y'all.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Just a reminder, this is a live Q&A, so I'm going to cover a couple of questions that we've gotten before we continue on with the conversation. Melissa Hodgson had asked, is someone running a Gothard News Updates channel? And I think we've pretty much answered that with Alfred Corduan, or however you pronounce his last name. I mean, that's basically Gothard's news.
Just call him Gothard.
Honestly, we could just call him Alfred C. Word, and we're good to go on that.
I mean, he is. I mean, because I kept calling. I forget what I kept calling him.
Don't
Don't
say it,
remind
Lindsay.
me,
Don't
Chad.
say it,
No, but don't. No, but don't say it. But I was like, don't remind me what I used to call him, Chad, because I don't even remember anymore. But I could not remember his name. And so finally, we were like, it's the butler to Batman. Like, he's just a butler. Yeah. He's a butler to Bill. He's Bill's butler.
Literally Alfred. Yeah.
Alfred, Bill's butler.
He's over there like Algernon.
Lindsay seems like the kind of person that loves using the C word too.
That's actually been the hardest. That's been the most difficult. Chad, you turn off your camera immediately. You.
I think we hit a nerve.
This is like literally being with a little brother right now. Good God.
I could be.
I mean,
Lindsay said the C word.
I'm doing Mama you. I'm doing Davey. No, it was actually really hard. That's been the hardest curse word for me until Shiny Happy People.
Really?
And then, oh yeah. And now Chad can have a reaction. But I would like message him and Heather we have a little chat group, and I would just be like, I'm saying it. And just the next
get ready, guys. Here it comes.
The next voice message would be like, CCC, and this like CCC. It's just like, because I don't have any other worse word.
Oh, that's so funny.
I used to date an Australian, and I was like, I don't see a problem with this, honestly.
Hey, they love using that word. That's
true.
The C word for them is, it's not even the F word, because the F word is still like kind of like, use it not sparingly necessarily, but just be conscious when you're saying it, maybe ease up a little bit. They don't ease up on the C word at all in Australian culture.
God, I would get along there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's basically the same thing as saying like idiot, like in an endearing way. A lot of times. Yeah, it's just
I'll just
crazy.
be like, I'm sorry, I have Australian in my heritage.
It's like bro. Like they say the C word like bro or dude.
Really?
Very true.
I did not know this. That's epic.
Wow. I like this question. Did you guys ever wonder why your parents took marriage and parenting advice from a man who has never been married and has no children? Great question, Bill Murphy. Phenomenal question.
Is this pre or post cult though? Because if it's pre cult, never questioned it.
Jesus wasn't married, and neither was Paul.
Exactly. Disciples, a lot of disciples weren't married. Jesus wasn't married. He made those points that like he's staying pure before God so that he can continue to be wholly inspired by him. So in it, you're just like, this is brainwashing. This is how brainwashing and indoctrination works, right? You just slowly start to bake in the sauce. And so I didn't question it. But once I got out, I was like, now that I'm married, what, like, this guy doesn't know half of what happens in a relationship.
And so much of his advice was just completely impractical too. I mean, just
it's ignorant. That's why it's impractical. It's ignorant.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. Guys, very important announcement. Guess who just joined the live stream? It's our friend Brice. Hello, Brice.
Smokey poo.
Looking like Dr. Evil with his kitty.
Smokey poo.
Yes.
I just let my animal
How
out
about
of the room.
Christmas kitty. She's got her Christmas
$1
bow on.
million.
I love it.
She's a Christmas
That's the way it
kitty. It
is.
is one day after Halloween. Oh, sweet God.
You think I put it on?
I do, actually.
No.
So did you name her Hobby
hair.
Lobby? Okay.
Ooh,
One day after Halloween.
Named her Michaels just to be, you know.
Yeah.
So my very good friend has been trying to set this thing up for a while, and the thing's been postponed. And we were like, yeah, that date works. And then like 2 days ago, Davey's like, hey, we should do a live stream. I'm like, crap. So
All I'm hearing are
I have so much
excuses.
tapas to eat though. Or
I had tapas and sangria,
So
but
much
before that,
tapas.
I had a pedicure. So
Wow.
George and
I literally was telling Davey, Brice, and I would get along so well, and now like sealed the deal.
Wait,
The dude
you
gets
got a
pedicures.
pedicure, Brice? Was it in Lindsay's honor that you got your feet all done up? Was there
I'm looking to earn
malice
some extra
aforethought?
money this holiday season, and so I wanted my feet to look really nice. You know,
Are you doing
but-
the mold for the Silver Foot Award? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
You had to go and get it all polished up so you could just like
Yes.
right into that mold.
Second place is the left toe award.
the left toe?
Ooh, do you have
very
a longer second toe? Please tell me.
I don't
yes.
know. You guys want to see my fresh feet? Let's go.
I
Don't
do.
do it. Don't
Actually, I
dare
really
put your
do.
feet
I'll show you
Why
mine.
did
You show
have
me
a longer
yours.
second
Swear
toe?
to God.
You want to
This
see
has
the
gone
foot
off
that
the
Bill used to footsie?
All I know is that lady
After
had
show,
the-
Davey. After show.
She
Patreon bonus content.
after
Oh
that.
my God, your people are gonna leave this chat. I can't.
No, we're getting more people.
Oh
After
no,
that
they think they're gonna
pedicure,
see
I'm
your feet. Oh no, this thing will skyrocket.
blow up.
Stick around to the end, guys. Make sure you drop a like to see Lindsay's feet. Like,
Be sure to
comment, and
smash my
subscribe.
wiki feet.
Yes.
What we
And I have
do is
not had a pedicure in about 2.5 months, so they raunchy.
Oh Lord.
we all go get pedicures, and then we all take a picture of our foot and we put it up there and we let people vote and say which one do you think is Lindsay's.
Oh, they'll know right
Ooh,
away.
That's a great.
Well, we'd have
Dude,
to
But I
shave
love
from
this.
the ankle down.
It doesn't matter. You'll know
obviously,
mine right away.
we'll have
Nope.
to somehow hide all my tattoos.
You just gave it away. Maybe I have tattoos.
Maybe you do, and so maybe that would make it even more interesting. Who knows?
Okay, it's
I
on.
love
Do you
this
have an
idea, though.
Instagram? I think we
I
do
love
this.
the idea of us taking a group foot
Group
picture.
foot?
I think that would be so much fun.
I now want to tattoo Alfred's face on my big toe.
Ooh.
No. Oh, you
fun
don't
one.
ever want to look at that ever again.
Or
No.
the Institute in Basic Life Principles crest on the bottom of your foot.
with the eagle.
Yeah.
It's hear an eagle squawk every time I take a step. Like,
Incredible.
Glad to have you here, Brice. Glad you're back.
Absolutely amazing.
this is what you're walking into.
I've got another really good question here, y'all. This one I honestly don't even know. Well, I know the second part. When did Gothard and IBLP really begin to take off, and when did it begin to decline year-wise? Love all that you guys do. Y'all are great. Thank you so much, Wade Kirchner. What do y'all think? I mean, he started in the 70s. That's really when the
60s
seminars
was his prison ministry, like his young youth ministry, and then the 70s was like IBYC and IBLP. But I my opinion, and you know, you guys all have yours too, but my opinion is like I think it really began to like go into the stratosphere when he started ATI. Like IBLP was huge, and then he added ATI to it, and it was just like all the stars were aligning, all the money was coming in. So people that were doing IBLP were jumping on board with ATI. So he was getting all of those families, and he was like the Thompson Bowling Arena, he was filling it, like just ridiculous with the homeschool side. And then also still going to tons and tons of seminars around the country. Like he was still doing seminars in multiple major cities, all the way up until like I think the mid 90s. Mid to late 90s, he was still going to, they started to dwindle around the late 90s, but I was actually at headquarters when they were starting to come back down the roller coaster hill of ATI, and that was in 2000. So like 1999, I remember very specifically around 98 after ATI's family conference in 98, because I was in the information center at headquarters for ATI. Enrollment was like almost plateauing for the first time ever. It was not continuing to go up. So it was plateauing.
Well, they ran out of people to kill off at the conferences. That was the thing about it.
I was like, you got to make it more exciting. Sorry, we need a Mickey Bonner moment like every year.
But you got to remember that 98 through 2001, 2002 is when Character First was starting to really take off. Like they had this new program, and it was the new crap, and they did like it's Character First Education and Character First Business, and it was really blowing up.
Yeah, but the families, like I think that the families was his bread and butter. That's what was that, because the IBLP seminars were already coming down. He was starting to do them in smaller churches and no longer selling out stadiums across the U.S. And then ATI plateaued, and so in 98, after June 98, it was a huge push that we really contact all the families. I did international families, so I was like contacting all the international families, making sure that they were completely stable and really good and had everything that they needed, and they were getting like all that handheld, conversation if they needed it from headquarters. And then they were like, and then in 99 in June, it was the first time that it actually tilted down, and I honestly don't think it ever recovered ever, because I just kept hearing that the numbers were getting smaller. They did Knoxville, maybe a couple more years, and then they moved over to Nashville, I think. Nashville, and then was it Nashville, Chad?
I believe it was, yeah.
And then they went to Big Sandy after Nashville, right? I think I was so out of it. I was like, screw the cult, I'm not looking back anymore. So I don't know what
that's where they still do the conference now, is in Big Sandy.
Yeah, and they have the family camps too. So it's like they do the conference around June-ish, but they also have these family camps throughout the year random. I know that because I still have people that go there, and they were just there 2 weeks ago. So
are you serious?
Yeah, they're still doing the family camps, but the
like
family camps
unironically going to the family camps,
intentionally going to the family camps.
Yeah. Unreal, dude. That's just so crazy to me that people are still buying into this shit.
Because they are in the sauce and they refuse to wake up and they don't want to hear it. They are closed-minded. They are just, this is their safety zone. They've done this for decades. They are not going to change their mind. They're also older. So how do you present this to someone who's older and go, hey, you've kind of like misled your whole family for the last like 50 years. Like that's not cute. It's not a cute look. Right. So anyway, but that to me, like the very late 90s, early 2000s is when ATI and IBLP started to actually feel the tick downward. It still took another like 15 years for it to actually start fully collapsing. But
I think you're exactly right. We talked about this during the episode with Chad, Lindsey, that 1997, was a standard year to go to the annual conference. And then the next year attendance dropped off pretty dramatically from what I understand. And I don't think they ever really recovered with their annual conference.
They still had enrollment, like was plateaued, but people going to the seminar was a lot lower. Yeah.
Right.
And it's really expensive to rent out the Thompson Bowling Arena. And then that whole, the entire grounds of I don't know what you call it, the vols,
all the auxiliary buildings.
Like
the place and stuff. The place where they shipped all the students for choir practice was really huge. It was like this really big concert hall almost.
I totally remember it. Used to be
there. And obviously the final nail in the coffin was in 2014. That was really when it was just done.
Well, that's because Bill's sins finally caught up with him.
Yep. And I think it probably started a lot of the, I don't know, the narrative, I think, started really shifting in like 2010, 11, 12, right? They were already dropping off, I think, in 2000. I went to Indy in 1999. That's when I went to the compound in Indianapolis. And I you felt a shift in the years after that in the early 2000s, exactly like what you're describing, Lindsey. And then I think around 2012 is when there was the XATI guy that had his own blog.
Yes, totally remember. I found him so soon. God,
Yeah.
I want to know who that person is. XATI guy, if you were out there in the stratosphere, will you just message me, even if it's with XATI guy? Like, if that's how you have to do yourself, like, fine.
You can stay anonymous if you want. I would love to have him on the podcast because he was really the first.
Well, actually,
make him like muffle his voice, like he's gonna be like,
he has to be behind a curtain, silhouette lit, and just
like silhouette backlit. Oh, that would be so. That would be
great.
Because he started
he was one
like
of the first ones.
Yes, and really started to. I mean, I was already like, screw ATI after I got married, but reading the stuff that he was putting out, I was like, I was here. I commented on a bunch of the different blog posts that he made, and then remember the crossings. Do you guys remember the crossings? Where like,
supposedly that's where I met
won't lie.
Smith. I don't recall it, but yeah,
I do still wish that website existed only because Facebook is not as great at this. I want all the old pictures because I know people that I know have photos of me from headquarters days because my mom's basement flooded and I lost all of my good photos and I had albums of stuff that I could have shown you guys. I mean, albums of amazing shit. I really wish that something like the crossings would come back.
Here's a story that I keep forgetting to mention, but the crossings, I was involved with the crossings as far as like there was a local group, a local Texas group. That's where my sister met her current husband was through crossings. But at one point, we all decided that we wanted to rent out a facility and throw a swing dance party. And we did that.
Oh my God.
And
swing
dancing. I don't remember how much it was expensive. There was a couple of people that stopped by that were IBLP all-stars, if you will.
Interesting.
Like, holy crap,
where are the photos?
Really?
I want to.
Are you allowed to reveal any names, Brice?
I'm not going to reveal the two people that stopped by. It probably doesn't matter anymore. But they were like ultimate IBLP all.
Was it the Farron Brooks? No, I'm kidding.
Look, we all know Al Smith was out there like breaking it down, like his old ass was like generating dust and everything.
Doing the jitterbug,
yeah.
No, one of the one ATI dad was the DJ.
Really?
Oh, that's great though.
That's
like
kind of cool.
Live your best life now. I'm free from the cult, and now we're just gonna have fun. Like,
absolutely.
Let's just go be freaking free, man.
And there were like maybe 12 people. one of the people
just held it at a bar.
Oh yeah, one of the guys that agreed to do it was the only one that was making actual money, and I think he put up most of the money. I have no idea what happened to him.
I love that. And for whatever reason, I feel like for people that are coming out of fundamental religion, dancing is like one of the first things that they want to. I mean, listening to modern music, obviously, catching up on pop culture, and then going out and dancing. Something that people don't really do that much, but that's like a thing for them. It seems like kind of like playing the piano was while we were still in the cult. I mean, Lindsey, you and I can both attest to that. Every good fundamental Christian child took piano lessons. You had to.
Oh, hell yeah, I did.
Chad too.
And then it was used against me when I was at the Oklahoma City Training Center.
That's right. You were the official pianist.
So.
My parents were like, "Oh, you gotta pick a musical instrument," and I had only ever seen women play piano at the time. I was just younger, and so I was like, I don't know, trumpet, which is not an easy instrument. I took 2 years of trumpet, private lessons or whatever. If they had just shown me,
I'm gonna have to cut you off right now, because Laura Smith is in the chat and
I
says
just saw her.
that she was there at the swing dance event. Hey, Laura.
You were? Oh my God, this is amazing.
I still have to get Laura on the podcast to talk about our date.
I need to hear that. Yeah, I need all the juice on that.
Oh, it is so incredibly cringe. I still lay awake late at night thinking
know what?
about how awful.
Cringe is great for storytelling. So
That's so true. Yeah.
cringe away, you guys.
I have your 12 song album you wrote 3 weeks after that date. We can
All the
put that
poetry
out.
that I
Real
dedicated to her.
Cultic
very
cringy
grunge.
kid.
Very grunge.
Very grunge.
So emo. Oh, I'm so dark.
Hey, but they were all emo limericks. That was the weird thing about it. Yeah.
Christian
I
emo.
met a young lady named Laura who I loved since the day that I saw her.
Ooh, Chad, continue, please continue. Love that, or a haiku, perhaps. Maybe we could do this. So good.
I actually do a little ditty that'll help you write a haiku. It goes da 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 da. If you do that, you have all the syllables. It's
You
great.
got it all. Okay.
Y'all
well.
probably went and saw Donnie Darko or something in the theaters. Just like, oh,
Ooh,
yes.
neither one of us remember what movie we saw. We know we saw a movie.
You have a good excuse. I don't know what Laura's
uh,
excuse is.
You know that you
Probably
saw a
just
movie,
trauma.
but neither of
Oh,
you
yeah,
remember it.
The post date sitting in the parking lot for 2 hours where she's just like, please, God,
Holding her
take me
hostage in
home.
my car on accident.
You're like, it's
And
the
then, yes.
trauma.
Writing
I can't let a female go
Writing
until
her
they
this
say, yes, I'll marry
beautiful
you.
poem laced with Blink 182 lyrics, apparently.
Sweet.
You know,
I
it's all
wish-
the small things. I mean,
Thank you, Chad.
Well, well,
Church
I don't know.
sex.
Laura, I just want to say I miss you. Okay.
No.
so I'm gonna
please tell us that in rhyme, Davey.
Davey, you just mentioned
Laura, I miss you.
that you just mentioned that you had piano lessons, right,
Yes.
Davey?
Mhm, mhm.
So
Really?
I was walking with you on the Riverwalk one evening when we were young, and you were absolutely wasted. And we
As was the
walked
custom.
up to this Irish piano bar, this tiny little Irish piano bar. Do you
Did you
remember this?
No.
You probably don't. Okay,
Not
we
at
went
all.
in. We went into the piano bar, and you had that. You had your like emo look going, right?
Of course.
And you're like, I won't play. And they're like, where are you from? Okay, we got Davey from Connecticut, everybody. And you sit down and play Rachmaninoff from memory, and the entire place is completely dead silent. And you look like Ray Charles because you're drunk. And you finish, and the plate's just like, oh my God.
If only they knew the trauma. They were like, no, but actually, we see the trauma. Yes,
I
we
should've-
do.
I literally played
Should've passed the hat.
Rachmaninoff.
It was.
We're Irish. We understand the trauma.
I'm surprised it wasn't Majesty and Glory of Christmas.
give him a
or
shot
some
of
weird
Jameson,
shit
he'll
like
be fine.
that.
By the way, you were the soberest piano player that night. I guarantee you.
Probably, yeah, that's probably true. It was an Irish bar. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm never going to play the piano in front of Davey. Thanks for letting me know that, Bryce.
He played at my sister's
Oh
wedding.
my God. So
oh
good.
my gosh, Davey.
Yeah, I did.
seriously?
And I was completely wasted for that
Damn, bro.
too. Yeah. There's
And you
a
played
there's a
Rachmaninoff
video.
yet again.
There is a wedding video where they, I don't know, like just asked me something. I can't even remember, but I completely went off script and basically told Erin that she should have married me and not her husband.
That's epic. I love that kind of shit in wedding videos. That's
I
amazing.
was smashed. I was completely smashed. Okay, I wanted to get back to this question. I had popped it up when I realized that Laura was in the chat, and had to address that, obviously.
Totes. Hi,
Absolutely
Laura.
one of my favorites. Are IBLP Christians anything similar to Steven Anderson's cult? As far as I know, the only thing I really know about Steven Anderson is that he is another fundy Christian type. And so, put simply, yes, they are all the same. They come from the same, they're cut from the same cloth. They come from the same ideologies. It's all patriarchy. It's all literal interpretations of convenient Bible verses. It's all about modesty and purity culture. Yes, if he is a fundamental Christian, it is very similar, I am sure, to the IBLP Shiny Happy People cult. They might not force women to wear dresses. They may not necessarily endorse courtship, but it's all the same ideology. It's all the same shit over and over and over again, because Bill Gothard's stuff wasn't even original.
No.
He was pulling that from fundamental Baptist churches. So these weren't new ideas that he was teaching. The dude was just a gimmicky bitch.
A good
That's what Bill
marketer.
Gothard was.
Yeah.
And a phenomenal marketer. Yes.
He would have sold a lot of cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot. It's just it
What you
blows
need is
my
this
mind.
fine family sedan right here.
15
not
pounds.
very
Careful
flashy.
now.
You
Y'all
can
are kidding?
meditate in here.
Yeah, I know y'all are kidding, but this actually happened in the IFB. They actually had this one guy, I'll have to look up his name, but he would go around giving financial advice at different conferences and everything
Dave
for
Ramsey?
fundamentalists. Almost. It was almost as bad. But his thing was like, no, you can't give your money to index funds or mutual funds because they might support non-Christian companies.
Mhm.
So naturally, that would entice people to come up afterwards and say, well, what can we invest in? And he's like, well, I know these bonds that you can buy. And he would sell them bonds that were insured, that were backed by used cars. Like,
What?
it was such
Oh
a
my
scam. He was
God.
banned from doing any kind of trading in the state of Alabama and several other states. Last I heard, he was in jail.
Unreal.
So yes, he literally like sold bonds and used cars. Like this is IFB grifters are some of the most blatant ones, but you can get away with literally anything if you call it a ministry. Like that's just how it works with these people.
I can't really talk about it yet, but there is an organization right now that is promoting a financial type device and basing it all on Christian, let's say fundamental Christian talking points. That's what they're doing. And they're raising millions and millions of dollars doing this.
Just like Samaritan's Purse and all that bullshit.
It's just so incredibly yeah, exactly, Lindsay. It's just incredibly frustrating.
It's gross.
I mean, I feel like they missed the boat. NFTs were a thing, and they should have just like, hey, Christian NFTs.
But
This is
that's
the original piece of
technology.
the cross.
Well,
That's
it's
technology
good.
that usually takes.
Go ahead, Chad.
You're right. It is technology.
Sorry, it's technology. It takes fundamentalists like 20 years to catch on. You know, like we couldn't even tell people when we first got dial-up internet. We couldn't tell anybody at church for like 5 years.
Well, let's do it. Let's scan the Christian, the character sketch books and make them NFTs and just sell them.
You don't even know how badly I want to buy the fourth character sketch. You don't understand.
It's new, isn't it?
understand how close I am. Chad keeps.
It's got a picture of a whale on it.
Ooh, what kind of whale?
I want to know. The thing is,
whale.
the reason I want it is I want to understand if they're rewriting some of their narrative.
Oh, interesting.
Or is it just all old ass Bill Gothard shit? Like,
I'm sure
I
it's
know
just the
what they're
same
doing.
regurgitated stuff. Yeah, I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I need it. I need to see it.
and that's the other crazy thing that kind of piggybacks on what you're saying there, Lindsay, is that there's all the new wave of fundamental Christian people coming out right now.
Yep.
A lot of it is mentioned on what is it, Duggar Snark. Fundy Fridays talks about it a lot. Like she is phenomenal at identifying some of these new groups that are coming out and trying to get them shut down before they take off. But there's always these people that are just going to latch on to that predator mindset, predator versus prey mindset, and exploit people.
Yeah.
I've never been to Fundy Fridays. How are the fries?
So easy. Oh my gosh. Shut up. They're so easy. They're so easy to manipulate. That's the thing. That's why the grifts work. Because they're they ask no questions. Ministry? Oh, allow me. Let me just overflow my purse to you. Like,
it's the same thing as
so
a business putting an ixthus on their business card or website, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're Christians. Well, we have to do business with them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like this question. Did Bill Gothard, great, promote to train up a child? Yes.
That's Bill's drag name, by the way.
I'm disturbed that Gothard is in the same sentence of train up a child. Like they just shouldn't be in the same.
It is a little weird.
It's just
strange
a little disturbing.
placement,
But yes, he did.
But on brand,
He sold
on brand for IBLP.
He sold the book.
Mm-hmm.
He sold the book. It was available at book tables at conferences. So yes, he absolutely did.
And Michael and Debbie Pearl spoke at ATI IBLP
in the 80s
as well.
Yeah, 80s and early 90s. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for those of you that don't or aren't familiar with To Train Up a Child, this was a curriculum written by Michael and Debbie Pearl, which were they were two just, I mean, if fascist parents were a thing, they were it. I mean, the
They're
levels that they
abysmal.
went to with discipline was just, I mean, absolute abuse.
You do it.
100%.
You train a child like you train an animal. They don't believe in raising a child and nurturing a child. That is not that is lost on them. It is about breaking your child to your dominance.
Yes. And that's exactly, I mean, they referred to that unabashedly, breaking the child's will. You have to break their will, and you break their will by disciplining, and really it was just abusing them,
harming them,
That's what it was. Yes.
crushing them with your all-encompassing authoritarian adult self.
Emotionally, mentally, and physically. Yeah.
Yes.
all of
And
it.
I mean, I know that, Chad and I have talked to this ad nauseum on a bunch of different podcasts and stuff, but like our parents were our first bullies. They were our bullies and our abusers.
Yeah.
And yet they were this like, oh, the Lord is bringing you up, bringing you up. And this is what the Lord demands us do so that you can be the most ultimate godly. And I'm literally over here with the teachings of Bill going, don't be bitter, don't be bitter, don't be bitter. I hate you, because you're hurting me. Like, I don't know. It just does not connect. And quite frankly, I do not condone abuse, but I would love to take a dowel rod and see how the Pearls feel about it. Just saying.
I will say,
I don't think they've ever experienced it. They have only dished out the discipline.
Yep.
I had nightmares of literally disciplining my parents. Like that was the level of enrage that I had in myself. And so I'm like, I would wake up and be like, I don't know how to have a submissive spirit. I don't know. The devil's just taken over all the ground. Like my chessboard is like all little mini castles because I don't know how to wipe the board and be like, I'm so humble. I'm so humble. The Lord is, I'm empty for the Lord. Like, how can I be? You guys are like so unfair. So it's just abuse. That's all it is. It's a book on abuse.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm done now. Rant over.
Chad, you were going to say something as well.
Well, I was going to say, like, in connection with that and a previous question we got, like, did any of y'all take anything positive away from your experiences? What I tell people is, like, the one positive I took away is that I developed a hell of a pain tolerance. Like, I mean, that's literally the only thing approaching positive I can think, because I can take a lot of punishment.
I mean, Chad, something that I've said multiple times, and tongue in cheek, obviously, but also very literally, you can't hurt my feelings. I grew up in a cult.
Hell yeah.
What are you going to say to me or do that I haven't been through already to the nth degree,
Yeah.
I never thought about that. I have a pretty high pain tolerance as well. I had to have like a steroid shot directly into my wrist recently, which is something that takes like 2 minutes to slowly push it in. And on my way out, the reception's like, "Oh, did you cry?" And I'm like, "No, why would I cry? What are you talking about?"
I don't think you understand how many times I got hit on the wrist with a ruler.
I don't.
Right? Or a dowel rod.
I'm crying and I'm on fire.
I feel great. I'm invigorated for some reason.
I feel so
on
refreshed.
a little bit, and I don't like that part, but
I'm
Like
kind
you're
of
only
wondering. I'm wondering if this is a dude thing though, because that is
that
not
could
me.
be Lindsay.
Yeah, not me at all. I am like polar opposites, you guys. Like
Interesting.
I think that I will endure a lot of pain, but I'm very aware that it's there. Like I can't. I don't have like a tolerance of it anymore. It's like I feel like I'm literally, when I start feeling pain, I feel a heartbreak of suffering. Like I don't know if I'm going to get help, and I don't know if I can ask for help. I don't know. Like even I got the COVID shot, right? And I have autoimmune disease, so I literally like kind of felt like I went to hell and back in 48 hours. But even that, like I made my husband take me to the emergency room because I thought that my entire abdominal muscles were just going to actually like snap in half with like whatever pain was happening. There's like no threshold, and yet you get there and they look at you like you've lost your damn mind. Right. And I'm like, I'm literally telling you that I am in so much pain. Well, take some Tylenol, maybe go to the ER. I'm like, wait, how?
I wonder
what?
if that is like a trauma response.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like it's
be
interesting though, because all three of you were like, we have quite a pain tolerance, and I'm like, I don't. Yeah, no, that's not me.
Well, I was more so
Good
thinking
question.
like from a mental and emotional standpoint. Physically, oh no, I'm a big old baby just like you, Lindsay.
Well, most men are, but I mean,
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think that was necessary. I don't
Feel
think we had
attacked.
to
it was
take it to that
100%
place.
I'll
necessary.
own that.
And you
honestly.
should feel attacked. You guys get a runny nose and the world's over. Like chicken soup and Netflix for
Although,
a week.
you know what? Melissa mentioned that she's had quite a bit of tattooing done. I'm also covered in tattoos, and that's almost like a cathartic experience for me. So maybe
Really?
so. Who knows? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Like, I mean, Chad even
Yeah.
said like he has a threshold for pain. I like,
Well, my whole thing, my
go
whole
ahead,
thing is
Chad, go
like, yeah, like I learned to block it out so much because like
right.
without getting into too much detail and everything, certain things wouldn't end until I just stopped reacting. So
Yeah.
I learned how to block out so much that there are times I literally have to like sit, close my eyes, like go into a meditative state and be like, okay, what's hurting right now? Because I don't know. Like I have to go
Do you
from like head to toe.
disassociate? Do you feel like in
Yeah,
those
big
times
time.
you actually disassociate? Yeah.
Yeah, like I just blocked it off. I'm like, we'll deal with that later. Right now I've got stuff to do. So it happens, and it's something I've been working
Yeah.
on. So
I
who
do the
knows?
exact same
Yeah.
thing,
You
Chad.
guys-
That's so interesting.
Do you do it too, Brice? Do you disassociate in pain?
I mean, I'm
Or
not
discomfort?
subjected to pain very often, but if I need to turn it off to get through something,
Wow.
for whatever
Yeah.
reason, I mean, I've had like major surgery and like I'm talking stapled stomach,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm like, let's do it. What are we doing? Let's fix things. Let's move forward.
Mhm.
So
I
I don't know.
think-
I guess I just turn it off and just like, all
Yeah.
right,
You just flip a switch. You're like, I'm just not going to be dealing with it. It's just going to
Now
go
that I'm
somewhere
thinking
else.
more about the tattoo thing, because actually that's a really good example from Melissa. Like when I'm getting tattooed, it's
Mhm.
so interesting. Like I know what I have to do to separate myself from the pain and relax the muscles and go to a happy place. And as cheesy as it sounds, like that scene from Fight Club where he's in
Yeah.
an ice cave with a penguin, that's the place that I go to. And I just completely disassociate from what's happening. Unless I'm getting tattooed on my knees or ribs, in which case there is no
Then
disassociating
you're like,
from
kill me
that.
now.
It's just
Yeah.
insanely painful. This
Interesting.
was an interesting question from Lauren Garcia. Were there a lot of preppers in IBLP, or were they just counting on the rapture?
So I have an interesting perspective on this because
Please.
like I said last time, most of the people in our IBLP circles here in Alabama were actually Presbyterians. And Presbyterians don't really do like the whole pre-tribulation rapture thing, or at least that particular type of Presbyterian didn't. So one thing that I noticed was, like there was some end time stuff in Gothard's stuff, but it was just so general that it could be easily adapted to whatever people believed on that point. I don't remember it being like a huge eschatology type thing. I did know that they talked about like, and they were very dominionist. They did talk about how, there was a chance we could take over the world and, bring it all to Christ and everything. And, there would probably be a big persecution we'd all have to be ready for. But it was in such vague Christianese terms that it was just like, you could pretty much apply it to whatever you already believed about it. At least that was my experience.
Absolutely. No, you're spot on with that, Chad, because you're right. They didn't really go into, okay, well, has Jesus already reigned for 1,000 years, or is that still coming up? Like, where are we on that eschatology timeline? Where are we located right now in Revelation, in the book of Revelations, right? They didn't really address that. And I think it was so that they didn't alienate anyone. They kept it vague intentionally so that, like you said, regardless of what you believed about, the rapture or the pre-trib or, whatever, you could still fit into IBLP.
But I would hazard to say that most people who are in IBLP probably did believe in the rapture. My family certainly did, to the point that my dad actually opted out of Social Security because he didn't think he'd need it.
Oh man! Remember that Left Behind series?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that movie was dog shit.
Dude, did you read the
very
books?
interesting books. Oh yeah, I read the books and then watched the movie. And I was like, this is lame as hell.
I got through like 4 of those books, and then I was like, what reading level are these things for? Also, he's milking it like
about
this
the same
whole
as
book.
Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey. So take it easy, okay?
Hey,
Like this whole
yeah,
book was
watch it.
unnecessary. This was like 4 chapters. They could have put this book as 4 chapters. I felt like it
for
was
sure.
dragging it out. They wanted like an 18 series set that they
Yeah,
could.
because it was a
sell to
moneymaker,
everybody.
dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's not a lot Christian kids can read these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
So-
Hey, I read the hardcore
agenda-based.
Christian fiction, which was Frank Peretti.
Yes,
Yes,
dude,
those
had
I
mentioned that
loved
before.
those.
This
were
Present Darkness,
great.
Praise in the Darkness book,
I
yeah.
don't know. There was always rumors they were going to do a movie, but like they should somebody call Ridley
Oh.
Scott and do this.
They
movie.
should still do a
Like,
movie. Honestly, those
Whoever
were really
did
good.
Constantine with Keanu Reeves, whoever directed that should totally
Good
direct.
call.
Should totally direct.
I'm
the
so
Frank
psyched
Peretti
for Constantine too. By the way,
book. Is it
with
happening?
Keanu.
Stop it!
It
Is
is
it happening?
Yes.
Shut up! Oh my god!
I know.
Oh, we're
You
about to
just
set-
dropped
we're
news.
about to set this live
Mind
stream on fire.
blown.
This is now a Constantine fan cast.
Oh, yes.
So long as it's not a Taylor Swift fan cast.
No.
Okay.
But Keanu, hello, yes, thank
She
you.
is
Constantine, everything.
Goated. Taylor
Yes.
Swift is goated, regardless of how you feel about her music.
Is she?
Okay.
Did she get
Can-
an
we just had to-
umbrella code award?
Can I go, Alex?
Her an honorary one.
Can I go Alex Jones for a moment?
Oh, don't
no.
say his name on this live stream.
Oh,
Holy
I'm
hell.
sorry. My bad, my bad.
Smell like
Can I go that guy? Yeah, that other guy. No, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Can I just go that direction for a moment? Okay,
Absolutely.
so the Left Behind movies, right? Starring
Okay.
Kirk Cameron as, dude looking obliviously at everything happening around him. Kirk Cameron, of course, did that in conjunction with a certain fellow named Ray Comfort, who was able to introduce his whole "do you believe you're a good person" type thing in the second movie, and they literally take time out of the movie to go through that whole thing. Ray Comfort, of course, being the darling, basically Bill Gotham was his sugar daddy. When he came to America. When he came from New Zealand to the States, Bill Gothard gave him his first platform, and he spoke several times at the conferences, and he got real popular on the back of IBLP. So, Left Behind connected IBLP. It's right there.
Wow, what a conspiracy, Chad.
Ray
Right.
Comfort was one of those people where he would have web domains that were misspelled inappropriate, like porn site domains, and so if you mistyped it, it would take you to a "you need Jesus."
Do you have
type
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior?
Yeah.
Love that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's like back in the day, I don't
brilliant.
think it's, but whitehouse.com, people would go to whitehouse.com, and it was
Yes.
totally a porn site because whitehouse.gov.
Okay, easy on the P word there, Bryce. You know better than that.
It was
You
a
know better
corn-
than that.
It was a corn website.
Corn.
No.
Thank you. Corn.
Good old
Look,
Midwestern
he already did
Kansas.
something worse.
How much
Corn
sangria
site.
did you have, Bryce? I'm going to need you to take a break.
It's so good.
Chill out.
I will say to address the preppers comment a little bit more directly. Several IBLP families that I knew of did prep for Y2K, as
That's
did
right.
my family.
But like, what did
Bought
they
the
can
generators.
for an extra 6 months? Like, what was the
Yeah.
prep? Like, it wasn't like they had a bunker or something, right?
Oh, we had burlap bags full of beans, and we had 5-gallon buckets full of wheat stacked up in our basement.
wow.
I remember staying up until midnight.
Yep. Me too.
For that new year,
Totally do.
for the year 2000, just seeing
Yep.
if my computer would completely shut down and the world was thrown into chaos. And when it didn't, I was kind of like, well, this is a bummer, because that was the year after I got back from India, and I was like, this would be a great time to
Just
go
go.
into some weird post-apocalyptic society. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm ready to
toodles.
Mad Max it. Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
They
We
may
can
take our lives,
burn it
but they
down.
will never take our carbs.
Y2K was crazy.
That was wild.
For IBLP and for ITI kids. I think it was a little crazy because my family was pretty hyper about it too. But we had like 2 weeks of groceries.
Yeah,
2
that's
weeks
kind of
doesn't
how
do
we
anything
were.
for you,
Like
Lindsay.
mad prepping.
Wow, you didn't even get a generator. You're not a real.
No,
Cult
we
member
weren't
if you don't
really
have a generator.
prepping. I mean, I don't know. I kind of just figured it would be the computers that would be a problem. I didn't see it as being that big of a deal. But also,
Lindsay,
I'm
if
sorry,
the
it was the
computers
patriarchy.
reset
It wasn't
to
like
the
I had the
year
money to go grocery shopping.
1900, everything just gets thrown into disarray. But I mean, think
Lindsay
of
knew
all
she
the
was gonna be
money that was
fine.
made.
Lindsay's
You
like,
know?
if I can just sell my feet and I will
Yeah.
get by. It's not.
You know,
But this
there's gonna
was
be
this was
people that need it.
before the OF websites. You know, so really, she wouldn't have had a good way to do that.
You just go to
Just have like a
church.
basement full of feet. Like
You just go to a wow.
Just dangle from the ceiling.
Oh wait, since we're back on feet, I did need to
Oh,
call
no.
attention to this comment because, boy, what an idea! New merch idea: Sistine Chapel creation of Adam, but it's 2 feet about to touch, not 2 hands. Yes,
the booping of the
Yes,
foots.
I'm already working of it. I'm working on it now.
Of the feet.
That will be
Footboop.com.
available on friendswithdavey.com. It will
Hold
be
on.
there, I promise you. The Sistine
Footboop.com.
Chapel.
Oh my god!
Oh, hold on.
Because we're gonna do the whole foot photo thing. If we do actually do this, I want to say something so bad, but I can't because it'll give away my feet. God damn it!
Okay.
I'll tell you guys in the after show.
Okay. We'll talk about it afterwards
Remind me.
because I feel like we've
Because
definitely
I
got a
think
plan
that my
around
feet
this.
should be the ones that do the touching.
Do you have finger toes? Lindsay's got finger toes. It's already so clear to me. She's got finger toes.
Moonlight Sonata with her toes.
That's why
That
I
was
could
perfect,
never
Bryce.
play piano with Davey because I need to use my feet.
Oh,
I would
we
have
could
to
do
be
that.
on
What's
a
that
ladder.
duet? The chopsticks duet, or no, Heart and Soul. The Heart and
Entertainer,
Soul
Heart
duet.
and
Soul.
I can't
Foot and
stand
soul.
that song.
Oh,
Yeah.
heart and soul, like my feet soul.
Like your feet, exactly.
Obsessed.
We've distributed so many Silver Feet awards in this live stream alone.
always
It's
comes
incredible.
back to
I'm pretty sure
feet.
Absolutely
Chad's
incredible.
buying that domain.
I
Are you-
never knew
That is actually happening right now.
no foot boots.
Yes. Yep.
Footboots.com. Good Lord. Brice, don't you already own fundyfeet.com?
Thinking about it.
Oh, you haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet?
I haven't
Okay,
pulled the trigger yet.
cool.
But somehow
Um,
foot boops really got him. Why am I so purple?
But I can promise you, if you go to friendswithdavey.com here in a few days for the merch store, we will have the creation of feet available as a t-shirt on the website. I can promise you that. It'll take me a couple days to put it together, but that is going to be my new obsession until it's done. 100%.
Do I get
Can one of them be wearing like
sales?
one of them needs to be wearing like fishnet, maybe? I don't know, just because.
But the fishnet go. You know, with fishnet, it goes. Your toes go through the fishnet, right?
No.
Yeah. If the
The
fishnet
pair that they
is
had me
slightly wide
wear
enough, your
didn't
toes
have
actually go
that.
through it. They actually poke
Bryce's fishnets actually have little footies on them, so they're fine.
Yeah.
Your toes don't poke through.
It's more like a bodysuit.
through. Got little
Oh,
slippers on it.
Fantastic. I absolutely love
I
it.
can't. My stomach hurts.
Hey, I wanted everyone to be, I mean, everyone's social media is tagged in the video description, but I did want to get everyone to plug their social media real quick. Lindsay, I know you've got your canned plug. Go ahead and shout
the
out
Cult
your
Chronicles on TikTok
Yeah.
and Instagram. That's where TikTok is where I go the most to do my things, but Instagram is where I put all the memes of inspiration. If you feel like you want to be, warm sunshine, cuddly, or holy fuck, that's totally right. That's where I post that stuff. I also have Crazy Pretty, because that's actually the place I'd like to populate followers the most, but that's my real life and that's what I do for a living. I am a makeup artist and a hairstylist professionally here in LA. I was in New York for 10 years. I think I'm the shit. Thank you very much. That's not easy for me to say, so you're welcome. Crazy Pretty. Go check it out.
Also, Lindsay, we're gonna need some modeling pictures of you from back in the day so that we can
I have
share
them on
some
my TikTok.
throwbacks.
I have them on my
Oh,
TikTok.
they're on your TikTok?
Scroll
All right, y'all,
through my
go check
feed.
out.
I have bikini photos
thought
on
you
my
said
feed.
scroll through my feet for a second. I was like, oh my
From
god.
back when I was
We're
in
back.
my 20s.
Love that.
Wow, that was really weird. I feel like I just almost became like a corn advertiser. What have I done? What have I
Here we
done?
get salts genetically
Who
modified.
am I? Being affected by all this testosterone. Oh, God.
Chad, you want to plug your stuff, man?
Yes, you can now officially find me at footboop.com. That literally just happened.
You want to go ahead and spell that for us, please?
FOOTBOOP. No, I'll be pointing that somewhere later. But yeah, you can find me on TikTok at ArchRadish. You can find me on Instagram at ArchRadish85. One of these days, I may actually post something there. And anytime you see ArchRadish on like Reddit or something, it's probably me. If it's not me, then you'll know.
Perfect. Perfect. Brice, what do you want to plug, man?
Brice.
I'm here. This is where you find me. I'm
But
really
you do have your merch available at friendswithdavey.com
do.
and customerservicesurvivor.com.
Yes,
Just
I
in
need to
time for
come
the
up
holidays?
with some more, but yeah, that is correct. I haven't really slept well in like 3 days, so I'm like,
Hello?
And you've had tapas, so you know it's a lot.
and
Yeah.
a nice big glass of sangria.
We love it. We
Sangria.
love it. You can follow me at Davey Jax on TikTok, Instagram, wherever you get your socials. You can also follow Friends with Davey on Instagram at Friends with Davey. We haven't posted anything there in a while, Brice, but we've got some content that we're ramping up to start posting some shorts and reels. So that'll be fun too. Guys, thank y'all so much for your time this evening. Live chat, thank you so much for watching. You guys are absolutely amazing. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Go follow Lindsey, follow Chad, shout out Brice. Brice, I don't even think this is my channel anymore. Honestly, I think it's Brice's channel now because no one cares about Davey. They just want to see Brice.
They literally like, where's Brice? Where's Brice? Where's Brice?
Brice is so fun. I prefer Brice. Okay, shut up. All right. Shut up. We get
I'm
it.
like, there is at least one, like, nice cuddly guy with a beard and everything. I mean, can we
Cute and cuddly,
can I be a
kid.
stand-in?
Cuddly.
I found my niche. So what can I say?
You really did. You've conquered the internet at this point. Y'all, we will be back next Wednesday. I'm sure we will be doing more live streams and episodes with Lindsey and Chad because it's just so much damn fun. So thank y'all again for being here. We love you so much.
Dude.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.